The story.
You never forgot that. Okay. Bud?
Hi, George.
Okay.
Jesse!
Hi, Jesse.
Go ahead.
I'm Bud Switzer, and I worked with Dr. Neiby on two projects. One was the Veterans Photo Wall and also Pioneer Days. Now, Johnny Grahava started with the inspiration for the Veterans Photo Wall, but he also was instrumental in conducting the Pioneer Days, and that's where Dr. Neiby joined us, was helping us on Pioneer Days. Now, John had a lot of historical photographs of Sierra Madre, probably somewhere between 30 and 40 albums that we'd like to spread out, plus a lot of photographs that we'd like to lay out for Pioneer Days. So Dr. Neiby got on board and was very helpful in helping John and myself in the setting up and running of the Pioneer Days for 2 or 3 days. And then, of course, also working on the Veterans Photo Wall, we had a lot of different activities that we performed on the Veterans Photo Wall, and Dr. Neiby would help us on various things. The best recall on Veterans Day, we would have a little special sign that we would put on top of the Veterans Photo Wall, and so we had one of us had to get up on top and sort of tack it down with some screws, and I was with and Dr. Neiby was with me. He and I were the only 2 people there, and then I forgot my ladder. I said, "Look, Dr. Neiby, I'll run home. I'll be back in 5 minutes and get the ladder." And then so I ran home, speeded 60 miles an hour to get back there. When I got back to the Veterans Photo Wall, he was on top of it. He had crawled up there, and it was, tacking down that special sign for Veterans Day, but he couldn't get down. He was stuck up there, and so I had the ladder and got him down. So that's one of my great lingering memories with Dr. Neiby, was seeing him kind of spread out on top of that photo wall. Unfortunately, soon thereafter, he had his first stroke, and then, but even so, he still continued to help us on the Veterans Photo Wall. We would have meetings. He would come to the meetings, and after he had his second stroke, he had a hard time getting around. And of course, my house is kind of an old house, and even so, he made sure he got up there and got around, and was very active and wanted to really help out in the Veterans Photo. Now, the only remaining item with Dr. Neiby, he still has these 30 or 40 albums of photographs of early Sierra Madre, and eventually they're supposed to wind up in the archives in the library. The real problem is the cataloging, and there's such a backlog of finding people to take the effort, get the effort to take these photographs and catalog them to get them into the archives in the library. But there's some tremendous photographs of early Sierra Madre and a lot of people that really should wind up in the library someplace. Anyway, these photographs, 30 or 40 albums, are at his house now, and sometime in the future, somehow they should eventually migrate some way into the library archives. Anyway, he was a great guy, and I always remember. I always had a lot of fun dealing with him and working with him. Well, miss him.
Thanks, Bud. Okay.
I'm a good friend of Paul Neiby, and I met like a couple years ago.
And your name?
My name is Jesse Campos, and he's a outstanding guy. He was a very nice guy. I met him, and he introduced me to you guys. I mean, the Cubanas, which is what belongs to my club, and I learned a lot by him, from him. I should say, and he was kind of him. He was. I mean, he don't want to hear nobody. There was real good man, and to end in this, he was. I think Sierra Madre is gonna miss him a lot, and I got a feeling he was real good man, good guy.
we might want to say here also, Jesse, you came in and you helped Dr. Neiby a lot. You took him around, you brought him down to the Beantown on a number of occasions. And we always appreciated you for doing that, because you were like another arm for Dr. Neiby, and you brought him to, I think you got him talked into going to things and doing stuff.
Oh yeah, that's another thing, you know, he asked me to, you know, bring it to meet you guys, Beantown, and I said, yes, I mean, sure, whatever I can do to help, you know. And I think he have a lot of fun with you guys, you know, and the meeting in Beantown every morning.
So we thank you for that.
Yeah, and that meant a lot to him, being able to get out, you know, a little bit of mobility meant a big
Yeah,
change.
and believe it or not, guys, he was appreciate, like these rainy days, he can enjoy, and when he's coming out and see the sun up towards the mountain, that was so good, you know, for him. He enjoyed a lot those days.
Of course, now we got the main trouble, I mean, the
Main
gentleman here.
You're the man, George.
I'm George Maurer, and I first met Dr. Neiby when he got involved with the attempt to widen Orange Grove and take down a whole bunch of the trees, and they were going to put some sidewalks there. Thought there was a safety factor, and he led the effort to keep Orange Grove the way it was. He knew the name of every tree along that street. He went face to face with every resident, not only on the Sierra Madre side, but he also met with everybody on the Arcadia side, and became very friendly with the Public Works Director of Arcadia and the one in Sierra Madre. And he fought a gallant battle to keep Orange Grove the way it is today. And also got involved with him a couple other projects and he was very passionate. No matter what project he undertook, he followed it to completion. And I think his most recent one that I got involved with him is the Citizens Emergency Rescue Team that was formed in downtown. And he and Louise volunteered to provide all the equipment for 25 of the graduates of the team. And then this recent emergency in the canyon, 20 members of that team covered that canyon in an hour and a half, met face to face with everybody that was in danger. And I think a lot of the credit has to go to him, because people had uniforms, were representing the city. And one of the last contacts with the doctor was that he contacted Gary and I and said, you know, it's important that you not just rest on your laurels. You've accomplished a lot, but you can't stop it at this point. You have to continue on. And I think that kind of indicates the type of individual that the doctor was. He was a real pleasure and an honor to know. And his wife, of course, with every good man, there's a good woman, and she certainly fulfills that to the utmost.
Hi, I'm